Welcome to Lando Leaves Land. My name's Lando, and I traveled to Portsmouth, Virginia to buy my first sailboat. Where the winds take me, I don't really know, but it's gonna be an adventure. Subscribe, and thanks for joining me on this journey.
Alright, so I'm leaving my anchorage outside, across the channel from the battery and close to the city marina here in Charleston. And pulling my anchor for the first time by myself. Wish me luck. So it's not too bad, pretty easy. Pulled up anchor first time by myself. There's no boats around me, so that's good. The only thing I was concerned about was drifting into the shallows, and I actually drifted the other way. So I'm in the channel, and I'm headed back towards the Lando River to go back to the boatyard. Getting hauled out again.
If you remember in the last episode, I had the transmission taken apart and put back together again after replacing the damper plate. I paid a questionable bill in full and headed down the Lando River with Anthony. We spent the night at the Cooper Marina, where I found out the original problem that probably caused all the other problems still wasn't fixed. After checking it out with the Charleston City Boatyard staff at the City Marina, it was determined I had to head back to the boatyard. So back in the yard, we took the coupler and the prop off in order to take the shaft out. After taking the shaft out, it was sent to a machine shop in Georgia, while I sat in the yard and played the waiting game.
It's a beautiful day down here at the boatyard. Right off the Lando. Put some tanning oil on, lay out. Thunder up in those clouds. Maybe I should get off the top of my boat here. It's kind of a bummer because the wind feels so nice because it's been so hot here. I don't want to close the hatches, but when the water comes in, I gotta do it. So at the boatyard here, I got tired of walking 2 miles to get water and then running out of water quickly. And it's been rainy and stormy here, so I've been collecting rainwater. Made a little funnel and get it in the cup here, and then I boil it, and then I pour that into a cup that has a coffee filter on top of it. So boil it and then filter it through a coffee filter, and then I've got water and I don't have to go to the store so much. Hopefully I don't die. I think there's like a paper mill like a couple miles away. Hopefully that doesn't put too many chemicals in the air, but hopefully the boiling will do the trick there. If it does, if I die, you'll know why. But until it stops raining, that's what I'm gonna do. Life at the boatyard when there's no stores around, no Ubers around.
So the new shaft and, well, not the new shaft, the same shaft, but new hole in it that holds the pin that's been done at the machine shop, and the new couplers here. So we'll see how I put it back together again and get back in the water hopefully later today. We'll see how it goes.
Hey George, hold that shaft.
Okay, so they just installed the new coupler here. It's a little different than the old coupler. It only has one set screw here, but it has these like clamp screws that keep it tight.
what they did at the machine shop, we sent the shaft and the old coupler, which was really unnecessary, and the pin to Georgia, because they didn't have a place here in Charleston that works on it, machine shop, at least any place writing home about is what they said. What they did is you can see the old place where the pin sat, which was worn, so they turned the shaft around. They asked me if I wanted a whole new shaft, and I thought that was unnecessary, so they put a new slot on the other side of it, and then there's only one set screw when before there was 2 set screws. And what they're gonna do now is they're gonna wire through that set screw around the coupler so that doesn't rotate out. It should be now the right fit again, and the shaft will not come forward, the pin shouldn't come forward, and should be all good. Fingers crossed.
Alright, that's tight. Alright, on my desk there are 2 boxes of drill bits. I stay in line. Let's draw a line across here. Your thing is going to be to make sure that I stay in line with the drill bit.
Yep.
Alright. And then I need George, you need to tell me if I'm this way or this way. I gotta be straight.
After getting the shaft and coupler into place, we had a little problem getting the prop back into pitch with the shaft now rotated differently.
Where you're at.
So the guys had to drill a new hole through the shaft.
Is it a reverse bit?
You want to bring it down a little bit? There you go.
Yeah, you're putting a little too much pressure on it.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for right there.
Some metal coming out fine.
Yeah.
Good stream.
That's what I'm looking for right there.
We're right there.
Right on there where they drilled it.
Yeah.
It's hard as a rock right there.
Why is that?
Because they heated it up when they drilled the original hole.
Oh, I see.
They drilled it too fast. Try that. One more up.
One more up. When you heat up the metal, it makes the hard material even harder.
Alright, got everything fixed. I think. Take 2. Gonna splash once again. We have liftoff.
After getting splashed back in the water, I spent the rest of the day and night at the dock waiting for the outgoing tide the next day.
So this is the Lando River Grill. I just found out about this place. I wish I would have found it earlier. It's a little piece of civilization down at the end of the river, right across from the boatyard, which is under that bridge over that way. It was nice to get a little piece of civilization and put my little dinghy, my tender, as some people would say, somewhere else other than the boatyard. This whole sunset right now. Here on the Lando River, where's Lando? Charleston's that way. So I just stepped outside and I saw this jet skier coming right about right there. Both fell off, 2 of them. Looked like the girl pulled the guy off. He's probably mad. Anyways, They were drifting fast over there. This boat almost hit them in the water. And now all these boats are trying to help them get back onto their jet ski. Entertainment back here on the Lando. That boat was headed right for him, and the other boat was hailing at him to stop. If it wasn't for that other boat, that boat might have run over those two people. Traffic jam. It is a Saturday on the back Lando River. I will be going that way shortly. Back out to the city marina area across from the battery. Hopefully the shaft will stay in place, the new coupler, and the pin won't come out. And I can move on with my life. I highly recommend you do not come to the city boatyard here. Nice guys, but they overcharge you, and then they don't do it right, and you come back, and then they charge you again. At least I'm not that guy over there. He was almost fully submerged in high tide. So it looks like they got the jet ski back to that boat over there. Man, they drifted a long ways. Fell off right here. Drifted all the way to right there. Saying goodbye to the boatyard for the second time. Goodbye, boatyard, for the second time. Hopefully that's saying the third time's a charm. Won't be involved here. Warming up the engine, heading that way. Got an outgoing tide, which is perfect right now. Be nice if there was a little more wind I could utilize, but the current is good enough for me. Thanks for ripping me off, boatyard. Hope I never, ever see you again. Adios. All right, I got a bit of a reach. A little bit of a reach here. Pull out the jib. All right. There's actually not much wind, but try and take every knot we can get. Just going down the channel, back out to the battery. Not much wind, but everything helps. I'm actually gonna move this over because we're about to run over some driftwood. Oh, breeze in my hair, not a care in the world. This is the calm before the storm. We're about to have 5 days of scattered thunderstorms here in Charleston. That will be a good time for me to plan my trip to Florida, assuming the engine's all good and I don't have to square up with the boatyard again. Life is good to me. I've been listening to all this country music since I've been in the Carolinas. Might turn some on right now since it's so relaxing. Let herself go. Just going down the Lando, chilling. AP's at the helm. Got the jib out. Going down the channel. First bridge right here. As long as I don't fall overboard, everything's good. Got the country music playing. Six and a half knots. Six and a half knots with no wind, pretty good. I mean, I'm using the motor, but be at the anchorage in about an hour and a half. One of the largest in the world right here. Largest this side of the hemisphere. For what I heard, at least. Right past the main bridge there, Charleston Bridge. Those guys come in. Everything gets loaded up right here. Maersk Surabaya from Monrovia. Massive ship. About to turn to port, going under the bridge, and the wind should catch the jib. Charleston, the city's kind of grown on me, to be honest. So, you know, it was a bad start here with the engine problems and not getting help from mechanics and everything, but the city's growing on me, and you know, so many people move here every year, and I can see why. All right, I'm gonna get back to the helm now. Boat's coming at me. About to get into the busy part of Charleston here. So I'm sailing upwind right now. So I'm just beating it down. Beating it towards the anchorage. There's the Yorktown again right there, where I was before, Charleston Harbor Marina. Headed right towards downtown Charleston. My anchorage is that way, around the battery there. Just beating it back and forth. Getting some good sailing in. Nice wind out here compared to up the Wando. Tall ship! 4 sails! Coming up to the anchorage. See the boat here. The anchor's right here. The wind is coming from that way, and the current is coming from that way. So I'm just gonna face my bow into it. Hopefully my bow doesn't fall off too much as I run up to drop it. Either way, there's lots of room, no other boats around me. Should be all right. All right, so I got all anchored back at the battery. I am a little off. I tried to get right on the same spot. You can see where I was last time. But I was getting pushed and I dropped it like it was hot. And now that's where I'm at. I put a little extra scope this time compared to last time because I'm a little bit deeper. But should be pretty good. Still well outside the channel. Still well outside the channel, and the anchor set fast and seems like good holding again. So now I'm gonna jump in the dinghy, go do some laundry again, and I'm just gonna run by Mike's boat and see if he's there. I'm not gonna even contact him. Just say what up to him. And yeah. Back at the battery. And of course, great news, the pin stayed in place, the shaft is good, nothing moved, and like I'm honestly so happy about that. Like, you don't even know. I'm so happy. It's finally fixed. Paid way too much, but it's fixed. Just because I just went 3 miles running the engine the whole time, and everything's in place and everything's fine. Thank you, Lord. Anyways, off I go back to the city marina over there. Area. Ashley Marina, City Marina. See you later, outlaw. It's a race! The race is on!
Oh, he's waiting for me. He said you're too slow. Hurry up. I'm coming, man. Let me put it in at full throttle. Back to civilization. No longer on the Wando.
Lord knows I need somebody give me out of this.
Come on, Cameron.
Wow. Mike Decker, right
There
here,
he is.
living the dream. There he is in his beautiful sky behind him. This is truly the dream. Too blessed.
Too blessed to be stressed.
Too blessed to be stressed.
Lando leaves land. You gotta love that guy. Look at this guy.
So I met a guy named Mike at Salty Mike's where I was doing laundry. I don't believe he was the Salty Mike, but regardless, he was kind enough to let me crash on his carver for a couple nights while the storms were passing through.
They're sort of, yeah, the water temperature now, I did the temperature the other day, it's like 70 something degrees. But they love, see there's one right there, there's two of them. Little one. Yeah, small ones. But they, you know the legal size, right? Legal size should be 5.5 inches. So I was telling Landon the other day that when they are, you gotta measure them point to point. The females and the males, I'll show you the difference. You gotta measure them from point to point, which is here to here. It's supposed to be 5.5 inches. So, at all deck boards, pretty much are 5.5 inches from here, from point to point. So, and the females and the males. Now, if you see, this is a male. Now, with the females, it's not good to keep them. You can tell with the male because of the little point right here. And so you measure them like this, point to point, too small. So that one goes back. And this one here, yeah, I use these because they grab on. I don't want to rip their claws off. That's their defense. See?
Trying to get going.
Yeah. And this one is a male too. But the females you'll see with the shake.
Yeah, it won't have a point.
Yeah. It'll be round. You know, people keep the females, but I don't. So because they reproduce. And you'll see the orange on the females. What will be the eggs. Brah! But yeah, they're good eating, man. Can't get any fresher than this, you know. But yeah. Here. Go ahead. Look at that claw.
Gnarly.
I touched you.
After that, I just waited for Anthony to head down south with me as he was quitting his job and while we waited for a good wind and weather window. Taking the last shot of Charleston here, last couple shots. I am going to park at California Dreaming, park the dinghy there, and then go to the West Marine nearby to get an E-perb. So when we go outside,
anything goes wrong, we got our EPIRB. Meeting Anthony after that on the other side over there. I'm gonna fill up the dinghy unleaded and get all our water. All the other provisioning has been done already. I'm gonna try and get out of here tonight. First time outside. Well, tried in Cape Fear, but it'll be the first, I think we'll be more successful this time. And it'll be the first time at night. First time night sailing. Outside. I'm a little bit nervous. Wish me luck. Wish us luck. Me and Anthony. Anthony and I. Saying goodbye to Charleston. Dodos. This is Ashley Marina, California Dreaming right here. Dolphins just going to town right there.
So after tying up at California Dreaming, I took an Uber to the closest West Marine, and I ended up getting a personal locator beacon instead of an EPIRB, because it was a little cheaper, and I liked the idea of being able to strap it to my PFD while sailing. After that, I checked out some mega yachts on my way back to the boat and waited for Anthony. It was a good time to leave finally, as the wind switched from southerlies to easterlies, and we'd have the wind on our beam headed down the coast.
So just pulled up anchor. Anthony's at the helm. We are on our mission to Florida now. We are just gonna head back to the Charleston Harbor Marina where I started it all and fuel up there and then be on our way. Say goodbye to Charleston. Goodbye, Charleston. Hope to come back someday. Lots of good people here, beautiful city. One last view of the Yorktown here. We're about to fuel up right there, where I spent my first week and a half in Charleston. And then saying goodbye. One last shot of the bridge.
I've kind of got 3 routes mapped here. We got like a near shore where we kind of just connect the dots between Savannah and then on down to Jacksonville and then to St. Augustine. There's kind of the middle road, which I think is my preferred route, where we make a right and then scream straight down to Jacksonville and then make the jump. Or where you take, it's actually the shortest route, just come out and head straight for St. Augustine. Everything's between 180 and 200 nautical miles, basically.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode as Anthony and I head out on the open ocean and I finally make it to Florida, to beautiful St. Augustine. If you haven't already, please subscribe, as it's a free way to support my journey. And I will see you in the next one.